All right. Excellent. And we're going to move away. Gentlemen. Andrii, good to see you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Good to see you once again. Good luck. Looking forward
Morning.
to the story.
Kaon.
All right. And welcome our next speaker.
Good
First speakers of the day.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much to our gracious host for an amazing introduction. My name is Andrii Degeler. I am a journalist. I'm with Dealroom.co. I'm very happy to be interviewing today Kaon Krasniqi, the 14-year-old founder from Kosovo. We have plenty of time. Let's try to take it a little bit slowly and start with sort of the background story. So, who are you, what it is that you're doing, and why you're doing what you're doing?
Yes, so my name is Kaon. I'm 14 years old. I come from Kosovo. If you don't know where that is, it's in Balkans. So ever since 8-7, I started learning coding. I participated in different projects. I always was the curious kid who asked the teacher never endless question. And I was always the kid who wanted to solve problems, not just sit in the classroom. So day by day, I thought that by programming from a small bedroom in Kosovo, I would be able to change the world. So I developed different projects. I won several hackathons. I also am really good at math. But then after several years, I thought that learning, no one is getting to fix learning seriously. Investors don't bet on it because it's risky. People think that it's hard and slow. So I love to solve hard problems. And that's why I'm creating MindLoopEdu, which aims to personalize content for each student. The aim and the vision is to implement it across different schools across the world. And I want to be known as the guy who changed education after 20 years from now.
There we go.
Yeah.
Please, a round of applause. So how does one start coding at the age of 7? Like, how did the idea even come along?
Well, I sort of had these different after-school options to choose from. And then I thought, okay, what is one thing that without it, the world wouldn't function? And I sort of started thinking and thought, okay, technology. So I thought I want to do more to be able in a more important environment. So I thought technology would be able to give you that. So I started learning, going to these courses. But I think my own love for programming gave me more value than the courses itself. So yeah.
Right, and I'm just wondering. So when you were starting to code, learning to code, finding coding really interesting, did you think already that you were going to take the entrepreneurial path and actually build something rather than just becoming a programmer and engineer?
Yes. Well, I believe if the goal before having a great problem to solve and an idea to just be an entrepreneur is wrong. I believe that it should come naturally. So I didn't say I want to start a company when I'm old, but I had a problem sitting around me. And then I thought the best way to solve this problem is to create a company.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So is MindLoop your first company, like serious project?
Yes, MindLoop is my first startup. I've company, but I've developed different projects earlier than this time.
So what exactly is MindLoop? How do you explain it to the people you're selling it to, for example?
Yes. So I want to ask just a question to the audience. How many of you think that schools, LMS, are old? If you can just raise your hand. Okay, the most agree. Yes. So, by the development of LLMs, school LMSs are kind of the same. Only participation. It tells participation, grades, homework. It's unpersonalized. It's one-size-fits content for all. And so the personalization isn't there yet. So by combining sort of the current LMS with AI and create a really great operating system that would benefit both first of all, the students, the teachers, and the administration, we would be able to personalized content for each student with permission from the teachers, with the teacher's first principle, without, with always the teacher being at the center of all.
Right. And how do you approach it? I mean, it's like revolutionizing the whole education industry.
Yes.
It's a very
Yeah.
big goal. It's a very ambitious goal.
Yes.
So how do you approach it? What do you start with? What kind of steps are you taking?
Yes, of course. So the first path, after I've developed a really basic demo, the first path is to do a pilot testing with 3 to 5 schools across the world, the continents. For example, Europe is a bit slower to do pilot programs, unfortunately. But for example, other continents are way faster because the regulatories are like that. So the first step to the big vision is doing some pilot testing and then doing real implementations after we get the results. So yeah.
And do you have a timeline for that?
Yes, I have a timeline. Well, school pilots, it depends really on the country, on the continent. So, for example, some countries around Nordics open school pilot programs around the end of the year, for example, some of them. So it really depends on which region is more open to implementing.
Can you do it in your own school, like the school that you go to?
Yes, but as I said, you know, implementing it in a bigger in a better educational system would then put all of these different schools and say, okay, if one country education system is better than us, why shouldn't we implement it? So
right,
yeah.
right. But are you also sort of solving a problem that you saw firsthand while you were studying?
Yes. Before answering question, I forgot to say, 1 year ago, exactly like it was January 12th, I emailed TechChill and I said, will I be able to attend as a 13-year-old at the time? So if we can see...
So this is a huge success. Yeah, can we have the slide, please? Because I'm not able to change it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a whole backstory that led to today.
Yes, so 1 year ago I was asked to be a participant and yeah, now I'm here. So I believe that you starting early gives you so much space to improve over time, space to fail, to come back stronger, so yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great.
No, this is definitely the entrepreneurial spirit as well that I think you have mastered rather well in these years. So, I mean, but do you think that the challenges that MindLoop is solving are particular for what you have seen in Kosovo educational system, or do you think they're universal for Europe and the world?
Well, the vision is around different schools. It's not the curriculum aligned with the system. It's easy to implement for schools, so that's what I'm sort of building, so schools can easily adapt their whole curriculum into the system, and then, you know, the system be based on the curriculum of the country or district.
Right, right. So I'm really wondering, so how did it all develop, and what kind of reaction were you getting from, for example, your school, your teachers, your classmates, your parents? So, like, what was the support like that you received or didn't receive from people around you?
Yeah, well, some of my teachers, because I also, while I'm developing this operative system, I'm also developing free tools for teachers just to engage with them. And some of the teachers are asking me if I've developed any tool for them to generate content. So that's what I've been doing this past week, actually. Yeah. Yeah.
No, this is great, and I'm a parent as well. Like, my kids are much younger than you are, but so I imagine that I would be rather happy if my son and my daughter started coding at age 7 and being interested in all that. But then, if my son came to me at the age of whatever it is, like 12, 13, 14, and say, okay, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I'm starting a company, I'm not entirely sure how I would have reacted. How did your parents react?
Well, my parents reacted actually a bit surprised, of course, but it was so funny. But they were supportive all the time in all decisions I make in what career I want to pursue. So that really helps me. And in my entrepreneurial case, yeah, they were just really supportive, and they didn't really give me any advice directly, but they said just do what you love. So yeah.
No, this is great to hear. This is amazing. Can we have a round of applause also for the family and the community that supports Kaon here?
Also.
Perfect. And I believe we have another slide that you wanted to show.
Yes. So basically, here is what I've developed as a free tool. It was like a lesson generator for mostly teachers, but that can be implemented for corporations too. For example, here I've asked to generate a lesson about TechChill and how to get the most value out of it. So yes, it generated the lessons. It's multi-type format, and it can be easily implemented across companies or just teachers and schools. This is like a free tool I did just to give value to the ecosystem.
And what are the challenges that you are facing? So I believe that when you started, you thought that okay, I'm going to create this, it's going to be great. What were the issues that you did not sort of predict that would arise?
One issue that sometimes is a bit hard is, like, for example, finding these programs that don't have age limits. For example, it could be builder programs, it could be startup accelerators. So it's most of the time I get rejected just because of my age, but you know, I don't give up on trying. You know, I can bootstrap the whole thing on my own. You know, a builder program would be great to accelerate my journey, but for example, if there is an age limit, then it's something that I can't change.
Right, and I suppose so. You live in Kosovo, which is a developing startup ecosystem. Do you think it would have been easier for you if you were based in another geography with more developed startup ecosystem?
Well, so building companies can be built all around the world, but I think access to capital is much easier if you are in a Western country. But I hope that, for example, in 10 or 20 years, it will globalize. The access to capital will globalize, so investors will arrive also in these unseen, underrated ecosystems. Because I believe that just a tiny fraction of the same capital given to a startup in another country would be so much more powerful to them accelerate their journey. So yeah.
Absolutely. Are you raising money right now?
No, I'm not raising any money right now.
But are you looking for funding?
So the first step is just to do pilot testing, and then if that goes well, of course, we would need support to create a bigger team that can implement across different schools.
Right, right. So you're a founder, you're an entrepreneur, you're building your company, but obviously you're also 14 years old, which means that you cannot make it your day job just yet, because you have the obligation to go to school and receive education. How do you balance these two things?
So, for example, in free time, some of my peers play football, play sports, practice sports. Some of them do a different hobby, arts. Some of them, for example, watch movies. They have a hobby in their free time. But all the free time that I have, because I love the journey and I'm not doing it just to build a startup. So that's why all the free time that I have, weekends, after school, up until night, I use it to build. So yeah.
Right. And how is the building process, how has it evolved for you over the past few years? I suppose you started mostly like coding manually. Now with the advent of generative AI and LLMs that are focused on coding, it must be different somewhat. How has it been for you?
Yeah, well, you see these tweets all on the internet of people just launching Cloud Code different tabs. That also works, but having it helped with me because I had a great understanding of coding, and before the tools expanded, and then when the tools launched, I just had it so much easier because I can just automate everything.
Right.
But
No, but this is great. So do you think that actually it does help you that you understand the actual code and that you can read the code if you have to?
yeah, absolutely, because it's not just in the coding; it's actually in the thought, in your thoughts when you think about an idea, in the thought process. So, for example, if I want to build an app, AI agent that is for connections, for finding people in your network, I would directly think, okay, well, graph databases and their connections to this guy knows this guy and this guy knows that guy. So it helps a lot.
Right. So what is your building process? So and now, how does it look like? How much time do you spend actually coding or prompting, and then like perhaps talking to your potential customers and doing other activities?
Well, I don't have a fixed time. It depends on the day. It depends on the time that I have. But I just set like a finished goal. For example, a deadline for, let's say, the end of the month, and then I can change how many hours I build a project each day. Yeah.
But you do put some deadlines for yourself.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Have you been able to meet them mostly so far?
Yes, and I've been doing like one big deadline. I've been splitting it into 10, so it feels more engaging over time.
Great.
Yeah.
So are you a team of one at this point?
Sorry?
Are you a team of one at this point? Do you have a team? Are you looking for a co-founder, for example?
Not essentially, but if an opportunity comes, why not? Because co-founders, getting ideas from different angles helps a lot. But also, what can't a solo founder do these days? What can't a solo founder do these days? That's the question. You have the tools, you have powerful tools, so you can just go out and build. And then if you want to accelerate or just stay bootstrapped, you can stay bootstrapped. If you want to create a team, then that's the time. So until, for example, a validation stage, I don't believe that essentially you need a co-founder these days. Yeah.
So do you think that we are entering the era of solo founders,
yeah,
solo entrepreneurs?
Yeah. Yes.
No, this is really interesting. And eventually, after you finish school, you will stand in front of a choice of whether you want to go to the university or you want to just pursue the entrepreneurial career without receiving a formal higher education, I suppose. Did you think about it already? Do you think there is still use for higher education for founders like yourself?
When you look at best businesses around the world, unicorns, most of the co-founders or the ideas came out of university. So I think that universities, of course, will align with all the latest news, all the latest updates in the AI era. But also, even without it, you meet lots of people who match your skills, your ambition, and you can have great discussions that from there, you have great ideas that you can create a company. So I believe university is also a great networking ecosystem.
Absolutely. And if you were to go to university, do you think you know?
So yes.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do you know what you would want to study? What would be the line of?
Yeah, because I believe coding will sort of not essentially get replaced, but just be less powerful as a degree in the future. This is just my opinion. I believe that soft skills degrees would help you in real life way better because it helps you create the kind of great understanding of general topics and the way of thinking about a process, the way of pursuing something. So I would study somewhere a soft skill, for example, even entrepreneurship mixed with AI or something like that. So.
Yeah, I know that your father, for example, is also a professor in entrepreneurship. Yeah. Do you think that somehow is your decision to become an entrepreneur a reflection, do you think, of his academic pursuit?
You know, it helped when I discovered my own passion for entrepreneurship. But you know, in a way, he didn't tell me, okay, Kaon, you've got to be an entrepreneur. You know, but then when I discovered it, I asked him questions, and then it helped having these discussions with him. But before actually finding that entrepreneurship is something that I love, innovation is something that I love, you know, we didn't really engage in those discussions. But after that, it really helped. Yeah.
Of course. What makes it feel so great for you? Like, why are you passionate about entrepreneurship and building?
It's just to see like the great impact that you have on people, make their lives better. You know, it's a great feeling to see that your work is valued so much. It puts a smile on people's faces, and yeah, that's like why I believe every entrepreneur keeps going. So yeah.
And outside of your family, do you have any entrepreneurs or any other people whom you consider to be your role models, people you look up to?
Yeah, well, my primary role models are my mom and dad. So yeah, and outside, of course, lots of family members, my uncles and my aunt, and so yeah, really. Different people I consider a role model. So.
And in the wider startup ecosystem?
You mean globally?
Yeah.
For example, Steve Jobs would be a great role model for my scenario. So yes, I've also read his book, so he's a great role model to look up to. Yeah.
Right. Do you read a lot?
Yes, I read a lot, and especially during trips, when traveling, so yeah.
What do you prefer reading? Is it mostly like non-fiction that is related to entrepreneurship, or something totally different?
Non-fiction, yeah. From mostly biographies, and so yeah.
And what do you see in those biographies? I really wonder, like, do you see any parallels between entrepreneurs whose biographies you're reading and yourself, your own journey?
Everyone has their own different special path, unique path. Everyone is different from the other. It doesn't necessarily mean that I have to do even 50% same of what a different successful entrepreneur did, because each one of them had different time of success, a different stage. So not essentially. I just naturally do what I do and don't really exactly look into other people's success. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And so you mentioned that it is sometimes hard for you to apply to certain programs because you don't get accepted just because of your age. Yeah. Are there any other ways that you feel sort of disadvantaged because you're younger than an average entrepreneur would normally be?
Well, first of all, I feel valued just because I'm speaking in this great event. So about the programs, well, it's not discouraging because I just see it as something that I can't really do anything about it now. So it's something that I can't really do anything about it. So I just have to apply and wait and see. So it's not on me. But things that are on me, of course, I feel a bit disappointed. But these things, not at all.
No, I feel you definitely should not, of course, be discouraged. And I do think that it is an absolute advantage. Like your age in this case is like total advantage. Like in just a few years, you will have more experience than any of your peers.
Yeah, absolutely.
In any of that. And do you did you think about like the end game? Do you think MindLoop is going to be something that you will be busy with for the foreseeable future, or do you want to start new projects at the same time, or maybe afterwards any particular areas that you're interested in?
Yeah, so the topics that I want to work all my life and be around are education and healthcare. But of course, different projects may come by. But for now and for the future, I see these two topics where I would have the most motivation to work on. And yeah, so that's why I would choose these two.
And in healthcare, would you also focus on AI-related projects?
Yes, yes, of course. By the time I may develop MindLoop and everything, lots of startups will be able to fix that. But of course, healthcare and education is something continuous improving. So yes.
What kind of which part of health tech are you looking at as a focus?
Well, for example, I've developed for now. I want to say I've developed agents that personalize find your doctor perfectly, because middlemen also gets your fees for finding a doctor, but also it's not really personalized. But for the future, I believe that just assistance would be something great, diagnosis of different images, and then from it extracting. So yes.
Amazing. Now, if we can have the last slide shown on the screen, please. I see it in front of me, but I don't see it behind me. And in the meantime, now, Kaon, thank you so much. You are an absolute great example of an entrepreneur with passion and with determination. I'm wishing you the greatest success in the future. Please keep doing what you're doing. Never be discouraged by anything that happens around. And please give a great round of applause to Kaon Krasniqi, founder of MindLoop. Thank you.
Thank you so much.